unbeknownst to me, there was a dog in that yard, and it was not friendly towards intruders in its place. Allow me to tell you a story of developing character. Okay, so I would have been about 17 years old, and I was skating at the local shopping centre with a couple of mates. And I had just done a 180 off this loading dock, and my foot went out in front of the board, and I rolled my ankle, and I actually broke it in two places. I didn't know at the time, my friends didn't know at the time, because I'm not one to really sook that much. I didn't make much of it. I just kind of walked to the side, looked at my ankle and said, I think my ankle's screwed, I gotta go home, lads. They had a bit of a chuckle, as you do when someone stacks it. I then had to walk home. The walk home was about 2 k's on a broken ankle. That was fun, using my skateboard as a crutch. That wasn't the biggest problem I encountered during this walk. While walking home, usually I just skate down the road, but there's a shortcut through a bush next to these line of houses. So I thought, I'll take the shortcut, my ankle's stuffed, it makes sense. So I started walking the shortcut, but unbeknownst to me, that a week before there had been a huge storm, and a huge tree had fallen over this path, and I could not get past this tree whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, how do I get around it? There was a fence next to me, which is about 6 foot tall, and I'm like, okay, well if I jump through this fence, through the backyard, and then I'll be able to be on my way and keep going. Having to jump a fence and then land with the broken ankle was not enjoyable, and unbeknownst to me, there was a dog in that yard, and it was not friendly towards intruders in its place, and I understand that. So I'm hopping across this backyard with this dog biting my broken ankle, which I'm kind of tucking up underneath me. And so I managed to get through the yard, then I have to scale and jump another fence, which I do, and then I'm back on my way to go home. I got all the way home, and I said to Mum, Dad, I think my ankle's busted. Can you give me a lift to the hospital? And Dad said, well, you've just walked 2 k's, and I told him about the dog and everything. He goes, it's probably just a sprain. You'll be right. Just go sleep it off. And usually he was spot on right. And had it been any other kid, had I been crying or whimpering or sooking really hard, he probably would have put more weight onto what I was saying. But because I had literally walked home with a broken ankle, and I wasn't one to whimper or cry, he's just gone, well, it must be a sprain. The next day, my ankle was black and blue and the size of a grapefruit. And then I went to hospital and found out, yes, it was actually broken in 2 places. The story doesn't end there, though. Oh, no. About 3 weeks into having said broken ankle, I got really, really bored and decided, to my parents' horror, to stick my leg in a bucket of water, remove my own cast so I could start skating again. Which I did, and of course I re-rolled my ankle, and then I was back in the cast. Lesson learned. Through endurance, through trials like that, it actually gives you a true insight into your own character, to see what you can actually endure and to see how much punishment you can put yourself through. So if you have opportunities in your life where you get presented an easy path or a hard path, sometimes it's better to take the hard path, because you'll learn more. There's more knowledge and more wisdom to be learnt from the hard path. I hope this helps. Rock on.